Hey you guys, thanks for coming to check out today's video. So today's video is going to be another one of our little chit chat videos. I did the last video and you guys really seem to like it. It's already got like 24,000 views or something like that in just maybe 2 or 3 days. So I decided to do another one. Today's video will all be sponsored product. So this is basically like first try, just showing you guys these products. These products come from a company called Sistar. It was sent to me by BlackFishing magazine. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, you turn on your post notifications so you never miss a new upload from me. And let's just jump right in. I'm going to get started with the It's You Skin Smoothing Primer. Today, I kind of wanted to talk about this topic that I've seen going around. It's called BlackFishing. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but if you're into the makeup industry and the beauty influencer industry, you have heard of it. I'm just going to put a little bit on my fingers. So BlackFishing apparently is a term that describes when a non-Black person is on Instagram as a beauty influencer and is basically posing as a Black person. They are, putting themselves out there to the world as though they were Black or mixed race with Black. They don't necessarily, from my understanding is, they don't necessarily say that they are Black. They don't necessarily give you any cultural background towards what they are or to clear up the ambiguity of what they are. But once it's found out, it actually comes into the light that they are white, they're not Black. Then people sort of start to wonder okay, so is this person just extremely tan or whatever? And the few people that have been called out on the carpet for doing this have just come out and said oh, I'm just very tan. This is me with a tan, and the way I wear my makeup and hair, this is just the way I do things. But then you start to look older images of them years ago and they don't look like that. They're not as tan. They're not tan at all. Actually, they're actually very pale. They aren't wearing their hair in these styles that look very ambiguous. Braids. It looks like they're wearing frontals with lace frontals. It looks like their hair is curly. Their skin is extremely tan. They're wearing, their makeup shades and shades darker than their skin tone, making it extremely questionable as to their race. So let's go ahead and get into the foundation. Foundation for today is going to be Maybelline's Coconut and Maybelline's Warm Sun in the Fit Me Super Stay. And then I'm going to put the coconut next. But yeah, so these women are posing and pretending to be Black. And honestly, my initial reaction to it was I kind of laughed a little bit about it, because I was like, wow, these girls really want to be perceived as Black that bad that they're really going to emulate everything from the way, we do our hair, the way that our skin looks. Like, some girls even took it so far as to take melanin pills to make sure that, their skin tone is dark enough, because some people can't tan enough to actually become dark enough to the shades that they want. So they actually have medication that you can take to add more melanin to your skin tone. So this is a real thing, you guys. It's really, really insane. On the one hand, we have Black women who have been so deeply traumatized by having dark melanin skin tones. And I just did a video on this literally 1 or 2 videos ago, who have been so traumatized by having dark skin that they have bleached their skin, used creams to bleach their skin. And then you have white women or non-Black women who want to fit this aesthetic to be a Black woman. It's amazing. The world that we live in is just insane. And, you know, I know the motivation for these women, well, I can't say I know, but in my mind, the motivation for these women to do this is not because they actually love and appreciate Black people. I don't think it actually has anything to do with Black people. I think that they realize that there is a lot of money to be made in this industry if you are emulating Black culture and Black people. If you are monetizing Blackness, you know, and this is not a new concept at all. It's a concept that has been around for a long time. You know, a lot of these women are looking and seeing that there are companies and industries completely built around, you know, making money off of influencers. And if you can find a niche and you can find a market to make some money in, you know, that's what you'll do. And these women see, you know, mixed race people, racially ambiguous people. There is an entire area and arena where those people can thrive, especially on social media, especially in, you know, this beauty influencer realm. If you can start getting brand deals and endorsements with natural hair companies and, you know, companies that are lifting up these women who have these big rolling bouncy curls, or if you can get an endorsement with a Lacefront company or a braid hair company, and you have a certain look that they are looking for, or a certain look that is acceptable, because let's definitely not forget that there is an aesthetic, if you are Black, that is more palatable, more marketable than actually full, complete Black people. Okay, now get into this concept. If you are selling a curly hair product and you want to widen your audience, maybe a lot of people that are buying your curly hair product are all 4C people, or all, you know, very Afro kinky, you know, 4C type of hair, but you want to broaden that. But you don't want to necessarily broaden it to, you know, people that don't have curly hair, but you want a different look of people because you now want to broaden who's purchasing your product. You might look for a more culturally ambiguous woman to do that. Now, who are you going to look for? Now you have these women who are fair-skinned, a little ambiguous looking, but still sort of look like they are Black, but there's not 100% sure. You might go after that person. So here we go. Now we have a situation where these girls have monetized being sort of Black but culturally ambiguous, and now they're getting brand endorsement deals. Oh, the concealer I just used is from Makeup Revolution, and this is in C11. And the other one I'm going to use is NC42, and this is from MAC. I have not used MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in I don't know how long, but I'm just like, you know, today I got time, cuz. Today I got time, cuz. And I'm just using a little bit of this to lighten up the Makeup Revolution. Now, you are becoming somewhat of, you know, blackface, because let's think about what blackface is. So it's when to my understanding, it's when a non-Black person plays a role or a part of a Black person and gets paid for it. So what are these girls doing? They're on social media as social media influencers, playing the part of a culturally ambiguous person that looks extremely like they are Black or biracial with Black, culturally ambiguous, and they're getting paid for it. Here's my only problem with it. When you present yourself that way to companies and they're not 100% sure if you are Black or not, and they give you those opportunities, you have actually stolen that opportunity from someone who is of color, whether they be mixed race or 100% black, mixed with black, whatever it is. You have stolen that opportunity from that person, because that's what was going on with blackface all those years ago. Those opportunities could have been played by black people or Native American people, because it happened in those Western movies too. White people playing Native Americans. You have stolen that role from someone who actually is an actor or actress, who is Native American or who is black, could have gotten paid for that and furthered their career with that opportunity. But instead, it was given to a non-black person or a non-Native American person or whatever. So that's the problem that I have with it. You know, as opposed, when it comes to their state of mind or whatever, you know, was the reasoning and all of this, you know, I can't really speak to all of that, because I don't know these people personally. You know, but to me, it doesn't seem like they even understand the issue or the concern. They don't even want to understand. I was looking at a video, and you know, there was never any type of acknowledgement of even what the concern was or the issue was. Is it that huge of a deal to me when it comes to the opportunities that they are getting due to this? Yes, that's when it gets a little bit up underneath my skin. So the powder that I was sent is called It's You, and it's a translucent powder, and I'm just a tad bit concerned that it's a little too white for me, because I'm very concerned that that might have like an ashy effect. So I'm going to use a little bit of Sacha Buttercup first, and then I'm going to put the powder over top of that. So I'm going to set with my Sacha Buttercup first. Sacha Buttercup is always just a tad bit too dark for me, especially in the winter time. So I'm going to go ahead and use a big fluffy brush to dust this away. I never let my powder sit for long. See how yellow that is? I'm just not a fan. So I'm definitely going to use this white translucent powder. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the sponge. It actually feels really soft and lightweight. It is really white. Wow, it looks really white. It's a little scary to me. So I'm going to dust this away like immediately. Yeah, definitely cut down on that yellow look. Okay, so I'm liking that. I was a little nervous, but I actually like that. So now let me go ahead and grab the contour palette. This is what the contour palette looks like. I'm going to grab this shade right here, which looks a tad bit light. So we'll see. Oh no, it doesn't look light. It looks great. It's actually dark. Wow, that's a lot darker than I thought it was going to be. It looks so light in the pan. So don't be fooled. This is actually very pigmented that I was not expecting. And it has a gray tone to it, which is great for contour. If it's too red, it won't give the right effect. Wow, this is nice. It blends out easily. I just went a little overboard at first. I didn't think it was going to be that pigmented. I was like a tad bit shook. So yeah, that's the issue that I have, is like when you're taking an opportunity from someone of color and you are not of color, that's where I have a problem with it. You know, if you are an influencer like I am, you know how long and hard you have to work to even get noticed out here as a woman of color. You know, there are not that many platforms that are specifically for us, where companies can go and find us. Like, we are very buried when it comes to having visibility on Instagram, on YouTube. And I know that some of these platforms are working to change that. I feel like YouTube is somewhat working to change that, but it still is a fact. The Black beauty influencer community is still growing. It's still getting to where we need it to be, because for so long there weren't products that were offered for us. We just really had to make things work. Now companies, you know, are finally understanding, like, include us so that we can, you know, do these videos, do these reviews, show our friends, show our subscribers how you can do your makeup with products that actually work for you, instead of just trying to figure some things out, you know? So for that reason, anything that is taking away from allowing a beauty influencer of color to grow their platform, to get opportunities, to gain exposure, to, you know, further their career, that definitely doesn't sit well with me. Like, it just doesn't. So this whole BlackFishing situation, that's the part that really, really bothers me. You know, these women are taking advantage of a situation that is already quite vulnerable. You know, Black beauty influencers are in a very difficult situation just at the onset, because being Black in the beauty industry, a lot of times you are a second thought. You know, you are an afterthought. Look at the way colors are named in the way colors work in most foundations. Most foundations, you go to get a color of the foundation, the lightest shade is always the first number. It's always the first number. That means that first number is first. It's the first person in line. It's the first one you thought about. It's the first one that you are presenting. It's number one. Or if it's, you know, C1, or it's NC 100, or it's, you know, whatever. It's the first number, the lightest shade. The darkest shade is the last number. As you go down in number, as you get higher in the numbers and you keep going further in the numbers, the shades get darker and darker and darker. And maybe it's not conscious. Maybe it's an unconscious decision, but I don't think so. I think it's conditioned choices that companies make. It's because of conditioning, because we are conditioned to think of the lighter one first. That's the first thought, the lightest one. All the shades that come after that are afterthought. So imagine once you get to NC 55, NC 70, how much later those shades came. You think that came with the first launch, NC 55? I doubt it. The shades that came with the first launch in MAC's, you know, concealers was NC probably 10 through 20. If you even got that many. You think there was a dark shade as NC 20? Doubtful. Doubtful. I could be wrong, but it's doubtful. I want to add a disclaimer here. I'm just using MAC as an example. You could put any other company's name into here. ColourPop, you know, Maybelline, any other brand that comes out with a product that the first launch is limited shades. As they grow, as the product picks up speed and picks up steam and starts selling, then they add more shades, is what I mean. Because I know somebody's going to say, oh, MAC didn't do that. MAC. Don't focus on MAC. I'm just saying brands in general. This is the way things go. The darker shades are an afterthought. So this is the mindset that we are dealing with in the beauty community right now. That's the mindset that we're dealing with. There's only one company that I know of that puts the darkest shades first. If you know it, I want you to type the name down below. If you know it, I will say it, but I want you guys to type the name down below if you know the one brand that I'm talking about, and it's Black owned, and it's woman owned, and she was doing this before it was trendy and cute to include melanin women, Black women into her line. Beauty Bakery. Beauty Bakery did that. And so and she only launched her brand like 2 years ago. So this is still new. Like, we are still just now getting there. So now I'm gonna do my blush. The blush that I'm using today is called Half Moon Blush Duo. And this one is Deeply Flushed. So I'm gonna use the pink side. So I'm gonna go light on this. I don't want this to be too pigmented. Actually, that's really pretty. Now, it is pigmented. So you can always go back with the brush that you were using before to, you know, blend and tone down that a little bit. I actually want to go into the highlight palette that they sent me. This one is called Lit and Glow Luminizer Palette. So I'm going to use the first one, which is this one right here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and blend that. All right, so I'm definitely liking how this looks. It's very, very cute. All right, and so I also got 2 lipsticks. One is Seducer, and that's what it looks like. And the other is Rose Garden. And that's what that one looks like. So I think we'll do Seducer. So that's Seducer. I rarely ever wear a red lip. So I just feel like I'll feel more comfortable if I put a liner around it. Okay, so I definitely like that a lot better. I'm going to zoom out. All right, so this is the finished look. I hope you guys like it. So also in conclusion, you know, just to finish talking about this topic of blackfishing, I think it's really, really crazy. The world that we live in, there's just so much foolishness. And this is just another example of money taking over common sense and doing what's right, doing what you know is right. You know, you trying to make money, you trying to be out here, you know, not being who you are, not being true to yourself, but you looking for the next dollar. I personally think it's ridiculous that these women are out here taking opportunities away from women of color when it's so difficult for women of color in the beauty industry. You know, we already have it hard enough, but then to have opportunities being taken away by a non-woman of color, a white woman, taking an opportunity away, like, it's offensive to me and I hate it. I hate it. You know, that's what I really hate about this situation. You know, I'm sure there's a bunch of different sides to this that I haven't really focused on. I'm focusing on it as a beauty influencer, how it makes me feel. These are just my own opinions. You know, you don't have to agree with me. I'm totally open to sharing why I feel the way that I feel down in the comments below. I would love for you guys to share the way you feel about it. Do you feel absolutely nothing about it? Could you care less? Does it not offend you as a black woman? Does it offend you as a black woman? As a white woman, do you feel indifferent to it? I'd love to hear all you guys' comments, as long as it's constructive and open to having a good conversation. Once it starts to get negative, ugly, bashing, anything going on in the foolishness, in terms of foolishness in the comments, will be deleted and you will immediately be blocked. So let's just keep it cute in the comments and we'll start a discussion. Also, make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel. Make sure you check out Sistar Cosmetics. Thank you so much, Cosmo Biz, for sending over this makeup. And yeah, you guys, if you have more questions, leave them in the comments and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.